Here's something nobody tells you at the dealership. Mechanics actively avoid certain cars in the used market. Not because they're bad, because they never break. And when a car doesn't break, a mechanic doesn't make money fixing it. So when you see a master technician driving home in something boring, something overlooked, something everyone else walks past on the lot, pay attention. Because they know something you don't. Today, I'm going to show you 7 cars that mechanics wish you'd stop buying, because these things refuse to die. Before we start, understand this: mechanics don't think like car buyers. You're looking at horsepower, leather seats, touchscreens. They're looking at timing chain design, oil pump placement, whether the transmission was built to last or built to lease. After 20 years in shops, after watching engines grenade at 60,000 miles and others cruise past 300,000 without opening the valve cover, you start to see patterns. And the pattern is this: the most reliable cars are rarely the most exciting ones. They're engineered by people who believed in overbuilding, in simplicity, in boring physics that just works. Let's talk about the cars they built that way. Car 1. Toyota Camry, 1997 to 2001. 4-cylinder. Everyone walks past these. Rental car bland. Styling that makes beige look aggressive. Zero street cred. But here's what mechanics see. A bulletproof 5S, FE or 1MZ FE engine that treats oil changes like suggestions, not requirements. This generation Camry was built during Toyota's peak obsession with durability. They overbuilt the engine internals. The automatic transmission is a simple 4-speed that doesn't hunt for gears or overheat. There's no turbo to fail, no direct injection to carbon up, no CVT to shudder itself to death. These cars regularly see 400,000 miles with just maintenance. Timing belt every 90,000, fluid changes, and they keep going. The interior falls apart before the drivetrain even thinks about quitting. Now, they're not perfect. The dashboard cracks in the sun. The paint oxidizes. They burn oil if you neglect them. But the core mechanicals, the reason you actually need a car, are unstoppable. And here's the thing: Toyota doesn't build them like this anymore. They can't. Modern emissions regulations, fuel economy standards, customer demands for technology. It all adds complexity. Complexity is the enemy of longevity. Car 2. Honda Accord, 1998 to 2002. 4-cylinder manual. Mechanics have a saying: if you want a Honda to last forever, get the manual transmission. The automatic in this generation had problems. But that 5-speed stick shift bolted to the F23 engine? That combination is nearly indestructible. This Accord doesn't have the drama of the V6. It doesn't have VTC kicking in with a scream. It's just a smooth, understressed 4-cylinder that makes enough power to merge and not a horsepower more. And that restraint is exactly why it lasts. The manual transmission means you control the shifting. No solenoids to fail. No torque converter to shudder. No computer making decisions that wear out clutch packs. Just a cable-operated shifter and a clutch that, if you're not abusive, can last 200,000 miles. These cars rust in the Midwest. The clear coat peels. The aftermarket stereo someone installed in 2004 stopped working in 2009. But the engine and transmission just won't quit. And Honda stopped building cars this simple because buyers wanted more features, more refinement, more technology. They got what they asked for, but they didn't get what these old Accords delivered: predictable, affordable immortality. Car 3. Lexus LS 400, 1995 to 2000. This is the one people sleep on because they think, luxury car, expensive repairs, money pit. Wrong. This is a Toyota in a nice suit, and the 1UZ FE V8 is one of the most over-engineered engines ever bolted into a production car. Mechanics love these because they were built when Lexus was trying to embarrass Mercedes and BMW. So they made everything redundant. Dual timing belts with tensioners that actually work. An all-aluminum engine that doesn't warp heads. A transmission cooler that prevents the common cause of transmission death. You'll see these with 500,000 miles still riding smooth, still quiet, still reliable. The air suspension eventually dies, but you can convert it to regular coil springs for less than $1,000. The alternator is tucked in a weird spot. The starter replacement is annoying. But these are minor inconveniences on a car that refuses to strand you. The reason they don't build them like this anymore? Cost. This level of over-engineering doesn't make financial sense when most buyers trade in at 60,000 miles. Why build a car for 500,000 when the average owner leaves at 50? Car 4. Ford Crown Victoria/Mercury Grand Marquis. 2003 to 2011. Police cars. Taxi cabs. The car every teenager's grandpa drove. And the car that mechanics quietly buy when they need something that will start every single morning for the next decade. The 4.6-liter V8 in these is not powerful. It's not efficient. It's not sophisticated. But it's agricultural in the best way, simple, understressed, and tolerant of abuse. Cops idle these for 12-hour shifts. Cab drivers put 300,000 city miles on them. And they keep running. Body-on-frame construction means they don't crumple like modern unibody cars, but it also means they last. The rear-wheel drive layout is easy to work on. There's actual space in the engine bay. You can change spark plugs without removing the intake manifold. Revolutionary. The downsides? They drink fuel. They handle like a couch. The interior is hollow plastic that echoes. But when your friends are waiting for tow trucks, you're still driving. Ford killed this platform because nobody was buying them new. Customers wanted crossovers, wanted tech, wanted modern. What they got instead is complexity that breaks. What they lost is this, a car that outlasts the loan. Notice something about all these cars? They're all from the late 90s to early 2000s. They're all naturally aspirated. They're all using simple transmissions. None of them have turbochargers, direct injection, or 10-speed automatics. This wasn't an accident. This was the last era before computers took over. Before emissions regulations forced manufacturers to squeeze every drop of efficiency out of smaller, more stressed engines. Before customers demanded 0 to 60 times that required engineering compromises. These cars were built with margin. Overbuilt components. Conservative tuning. And that margin is what lets them survive when everything around them fails. Car 5. Toyota 4Runner, 1996 to 2002, V6. Mechanics in rural areas drive these until the frame rusts out from under them. The 5VZ FE V6 is nearly unbreakable. The part-time four-wheel drive system is stupid simple. There's no fancy terrain management, no adaptive this or intelligent that. Just a shifter that engages the front axle when you need it. These trucks see abuse. Off-road. Towing. Sitting outside in the salt belt. And they survive because Toyota wasn't trying to make them luxurious. They were trying to make them functional. The common issue is the lower ball joints wear out. The frame rusts in certain states. The rear window motor fails. But the drivetrain, the actual guts of the vehicle, is bomb-proof. And Toyota doesn't make them this way anymore because buyers wanted car-like ride quality, better fuel economy, modern safety features. Fair requests. But those requests added weight, added complexity, and reduced longevity.